Hi, it's Mark Wood from Full Circuit Electrical. Just thought I'd shoot this quick video just to explain why houses that are 12 years and over that still feel relatively modern and new to the landlords and the people that own them are failing the electrical test that we're doing for the new legislation. It's coming up quite often that landlords are quite surprised when they've got a property of this age and they're failing because they do still feel quite new and modern, and they expect them to be up to the current standards, but unfortunately they're not. The reason is because there's been, if you've got a 12-year-old property, there's been two regulation changes. So the first one was the 1st of July 2008 from the 16th to the 17th edition, and then the 1st of July 2018 we went from the 17th to the 18th edition. So, like I say, we've been having a number of inquiries to why this is happening. So I've put together my top 5 points to try and help explain. So point number 1 is RCDs protection, and particularly RCDs in bathrooms. So any circuit in a bathroom or a bathroom that contains a bath or a shower must have RCD protection, and a lot of them we're finding don't. Unfortunately, this means it's a C2 classification on the report, and which is unsatisfactory. It's a fairly easy fix, which just involves swapping the circuit breaker for an RCBO, and then obviously we can classify it as a satisfactory, and it's all good. Number 2, RCDs again, but this is RCDs for socket circuits. So where you've got a socket circuit and it's physically possible to run an extension lead to the outdoors, that circuit needs to be RCD protected, and if it isn't, it would be classed as a C2, which is unsatisfactory. If you've got a socket circuit that isn't RCD protected, but you can't plug a lead in and run it outside easily, so say on a 3rd floor flat, then although it's got no RCD, it would be a C3 and would still get a satisfactory report. Number 3 is a bit of a funny one. It's actually looks, we're seeing a lot of cracked sockets. Now I think this is because these properties are 12 years plus now. They've had a lot of tenants in and out, moving furniture, and the sockets have been broken and never really been noticed. If you haven't had a report done, it won't have been picked up, and we're finding them now when we're doing the reports. So yeah, we're seeing quite a few cracked sockets. So it's a dead straightforward one to fix, quite cheap, and nothing really to worry about. Number 4 is a really interesting one. What we're finding is there's lots of sockets that are too near the sink or the oven in properties, the newer properties. Now the reason why I think this is happening is because sometimes the electricians go in, do their first and second fix, and certify and test the work before the kitchen's been installed. Then the kitchen fitter comes, there's been some changes, the kitchen's slightly different to the plan, or the electrician's interpreted the plan different to, got the measurements slightly wrong, and when the kitchen goes in, the sockets are too near the sink or the oven. Kitchen fitter doesn't realise, the electrician doesn't go back because he's done his work, and it gets left. And obviously now we're coming to certify them, we're picking these up. It's happened quite a few times recently, and it's just one to note. And number 5 finally is earth bonding. So again, it's around the new build type places. What we're finding is that the builders like to make their properties look really smart to sell. So what they've been doing is trying to cover up the pipework, and they've actually covered up the joint between the plastic incoming pipe and the copper. When these have been built, the electrician doesn't need to put an earth bonding cable in because it's a plastic incoming pipe. But because we come to do a report and we can't see that it's a plastic to a copper pipe because it's above the ceiling, all we can see is copper, that would require bonding, but there's no cable there and no earth bonding. It's a really difficult one, but unfortunately that would be a C2 and an unsatisfactory report until we could either see that it was a plastic pipe converted to copper or there was an earth bonding cable there. So I hope that helps clarify. There are 5 main reasons why this is happening, and there is others, but not as popular. If anyone needs any further information or advice, just give us a call. You can find us online. It's www.fullcircuitelectrical.co.uk, or our email is office@fullcircuitgroup.co.uk. Thanks a lot.